refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take a few to lose. Built to win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. We have a great episode for y'all today. It is Friday. And as you see, I got two of my bros with me, but we got a lot of playoff talk to talk to y'all today about. A lot of series closed out that we're going to address. And we got a special guest coming through, a Pistons fan. First time on R2L talking about the Pistons in the playoffs. Can't wait to see what he got to say. Kind of wrong timing, I guess. We should have got him on before they got eliminated. But anyways, speaking of the Pistons, we got to talk about that. The Knicks eliminated the Pistons with Jalen Brunson step back on one of the best defenders in the NBA. It was beautiful. All right, so shout out, beautiful to some, but not to others. So we got to talk about that, and we got Carl coming on to help us with that topic. Lakers in 5. What happened? Sounds like T-Wolves in 5. So a lot of Lakers fans in La La Land are very sad right now while the T-Wolves are celebrating in L.A. I know. Moment of silence for the Lakers fans.
What silence for what? They be all right. They be all right.
I mean, it's the death of their season. It's over, right? So shout out to the T-Wolves for beating them in 5. We got to address that. The Orlando Magic. Couldn't play a song. Only played a song one time in this whole series. They also lost in 5 games. The Celtics move on to the second round. We have to address that. And lastly, the Pacers. We talking about a father of the guy who hit the game winner. Went head-to-head, no pun, with Giannis. But put Giannis out. Now he's out the playoffs and the Pacers advance. But like I said, got two of my bros with me. I got David Dallas here. You see him right there, sitting in the middle, the king of the doghouse. He just had an episode out of the street earlier today. Make sure y'all go check out that episode. And we got on my far left, but your far right, we got Missy Godunson, Tomo, co-host of In the Red Corner. They also had an episode drop yesterday, right? Right? Wednesday?
Today, Friday, yeah.
Okay, two days ago. So 2 brand new episodes. RBO also went today and BWT. We lit. And CTC yesterday. I mean, we all over the place. So make sure you got tune into these episodes. But look, how y'all doing, fellas? Tomorrow.
No, it's tonight.
Oh, it's tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was talking about. 6 o'clock?
It's on right now. I knew I was gonna catch y'all off guard.
That was all gone for real.
Just man, shout out to Turkey, man, and Ring Magazine for hosting the boxing right now. It's on DAZN, so you might see me looking at my phone a little bit just to keep up. But I'm doing good, man. I'm here to talk about some other people getting knocked out of the playoffs, so it's gonna be very, very interesting. And my HOA/co-pres is coming on, so I really want to hear what he got to say about the Pistons because I tuned in to RBO earlier, so I got to hear Vaughn side of being a Magic fan, so you might want to tap into that. So I'm doing good. Dave was sending shots earlier, so I got to hear what Dave wants to say, talk about on this episode as well.
I mean, I talked about some of this earlier on my show today. So, some of these guys were featured on Dave's Doghouse. So, if y'all didn't know, Joe was actually on the show. So, I mean, you definitely want to check it out because Joe has some really good things to say as well. But I'm excited to see what's going to happen. We got a game tonight and tomorrow. We got game 6 tonight, then a game 7 tomorrow. So what's going to happen is Jimmy Butler and the Warriors going to, Jimmy, Steph, Draymond, are they going to advance, or can the Rockets force a game 7? And Kawhi healthy. So what's going to happen? I don't know. But
Somebody order pizza?
nah. But let's
LeBron.
turn up, fellas. Let's have a good show.
LeBron might have ordered some pizza.
Me up. That is something I need to go retrieve. So I'll be back.
Oh, that was a real bill. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I thought it was part of the show. I thought he was getting something for the doghouse. I ain't know the doggy treats is here, I guess.
I thought that was you putting the sound effect. Oh, okay, what's going on?
That's something new. I might gotta add that.
We are streaming this on 5 different platforms. All right. We are streaming this on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, and IG. So make sure you like the video on all 5 platforms. Make sure you follow us and subscribe on all of our social media platforms. You can follow us everywhere at Refuse to Lose Sports. But on X and Twitch, you can follow us at R2L Sports and share this episode with an individual so they could come on and watch this episode live with you. So because you could be involved in the show by being in the comment section. We can see all the comments. Yeah, what we putting out throughout the show. Shout out to my boy Daniel for being the first comment. Yo, he's here. First comment. We also got my boy Kevo, a member of R2L. He put that out for me.
Got you.
Love hurts over JD5. Good Friday, fellas. Greatest show on the net. Keep winning, fellas. On the road to number 1. Enjoy the journey. I like what you say after the first comment, so I'm glad I didn't see the first comment. Appreciate you, guys. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And we also got CTC. He will be here on the second topic, as we said earlier. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
That could be taken in 2 different ways. He could be talking about the pitches, or he could be talking about the person above his comment.
He's talking about baby now. I mean, it can go so many ways.
And last but not least, if you're watching, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, so it's yours, my guy, my friend.
Okay, hello, darkness. Why the song playing in my head now? Shout out to the comments, man.
Darkness.
Oh, I gotta write that down for my last words, man. I gotta address something about good interviewers. But before we get to the last words, we gotta start off with the whole episode. So we want to talk about it like this. They say no more lakes. They say Justin Timberlake. They say sometimes you could pump fake. Timberwolves in 5. I don't understand it. There's no more tears in the lake, that some people would say, but it is a lot of tears in Laker land. And we already see that. The Mount Rushmore, can we add 5 people to the Mount Rushmore of knocking people out of the playoffs? Joe, you predicted this. He kind of got one more infinity. Let's do it like this. He got one more infinity stone to collect. This guy's knocking out some legends in the playoffs. We talk about Joker. We talk about LeBron. We talk about Luka. He probably can get Steph. If he can. Another duo that would be interesting also because of the debate with Jimmy and Julie. The storylines will refuse to lose in the chats. This is why you got to become a member. I'm telling you, we be ahead of the curve. But JJ Redick wasn't ahead of the curve. Lakers lose as the Warriors win 3 straight. Wolves. I'm talking about all these teams in the West. Draymond must be watching the show. As the Wolves win 3 straight and defeat the Lakers. Dave, react to the series, man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what happened. They lost in 5 games. See, this is what happens, man. When you see what a team does in a regular season, and you're like, you know what? I think they can really go all the way. But you don't look at their weaknesses. The weaknesses was they didn't really have any bigs for real. Yes, they got Jackson Hayes, but is he really a presence down in the paint? Not necessarily. He's not Derek Lively, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. He's not those. He wasn't those guys. He's not an Anthony Davis. He's not a guy that can, cause havoc in the paint. Yes, he's an athletic big. Don't get me wrong, but Rudy Gobert showed you that he ain't gonna make no difference. I'm still gonna get my balls on him. I might not score as much, but he ain't gonna really get no rebounds on me. And then Nas Reed, Julius Randle, they got the bodies. They got big bodies enough to even force LeBron to not necessarily be much of a factor in the series. And if you look at what happened, and LeBron was given effort on defense, something that we know he can do, which is what makes it hard to put LeBron in certain GOAT conversations, because it's like, Bron, we know that you're capable of doing these things. You're just not doing it. And honestly, we had another thing where we talked about LeBron being, how he ran the East, how the East was so weak. And now he's in the West. He's only been in the Western Conference Finals twice since he's got to the Lakers. And what has that gotten him? He got a ring, and then in the bubble, a lot of people question that. I don't, because my team was in the finals and that lost to them. So I don't question it at all. But man, Julius Randle he proved a lot of people wrong in this series, because a lot of people was questioning exactly what he's going to do in the playoffs, because we've seen what he does in the playoffs and then really hasn't been good. Now, he was injured last year. I understand it, but even still, it wasn't a good performance, even the year before that. So you come into this series, you're thinking like, you know what? Luka had already put Ant and them out when he had Kyrie. He got LeBron now. So, I mean, it's going to happen. Nope. It's not what happened, because all the other guys couldn't do anything. And then JJ Redick made two big mistakes. Second half in game 3, it was in game 4, he had everybody there just play the entire second half. The whole starting five played the entire second half. You gave no one a breather, and they had a 10-point lead at one time. You can at least have somebody come in for LeBron and then have someone come in for Luka. Luka ain't got the stamina. He don't. And LeBron 40. Bruh. You got to get someone to come in and get these guys some kind of rest, and that didn't happen. And then he's so stubborn that even when he sees that the team is getting bombarded on the boards, you still don't put Jackson Hayes in. You put in Maxi Kleber, who hasn't played since he got traded to the Lakers. And he was only there for 5 minutes, and it wasn't even a good 5 minutes. He came in, he almost knocked Rudy Gobert out with his elbow. It's an automatic foul. He got in foul trouble as soon as he touched the floor. Couldn't score. Couldn't really get no rebound, so it was pointless. And it's like, I felt like he was stubborn just because he said ahead of time that he wasn't going to do it. And then he made a mistake by telling Jackson Hayes that they're going to try something. Game 5 in the elimination game is not an opportunity to try something new. If you were up 3-1, okay, makes sense. If you was 2-2, okay, you still get a little bit of, you're down 3-1. You're on brink of elimination and you try something now, it's not good. So, Lakers, just like my Miami Heat, you're home. Welcome to Cancun.
Go ahead, Joe.
Ant-Man, Batman, Superman, what Ant say? LeBron, Kutan, Futon, JJ, Ray J, AJ. But look, Houston, look, I won't bring this up later, but here's the thing about this whole series. Game 5 tells you how bad the Lakers were, as far as coaching and period. Because did y'all know the Timberwolves, right? And I said it multiple times in the chat. That's where y'all got to become a member. We watching the game in the R2O chat, the VIP chat. I made a voice memo at the end of the third quarter. I said, the Lakers better be lucky that they're not getting blown out, because the Timberwolves are missing wide open threes. They are lucky, because do y'all know the Timberwolves was 7 for 47 from the 3-point line in game 5. That's 14.9%. I don't know if y'all know this. That's the lowest percentage by any team in playoff history with 40 or more 3-point attempts. Did y'all know that? That's the lowest percentage in NBA history with 40 or more 3-point attempts. 7 from 47. And Anthony Edwards alone was 0 from 11. Did y'all know? Out of the 47 threes they shot, only 22 were contested. 25 were open. And they only made 7. They should have got blown out. But they didn't get blown out. Do you know why? Because Rudy Gobert. I mean, like Dave said, J.J. Redick was stubborn. A lot of missed threes turned into second chance points. Offensive rebound. Rudy Gobert had 9 offensive rebounds. You know the Timberwolves as a team had 18 offensive rebounds to the Lakers 8. They had 6 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. So, and Rudy Gobert, out of his 27 points, 9 of them came in second chance points, and 5 of them came in fast breaks. So more than half his points, this came off hustle. It's crazy. Rudy Gobert, 24 points in the paint. He had three free throws. All his points came in the paint, obviously. 27 points is playoff career high. 24 rebounds is a career high also. So the Lakers also points in the paint. Lakers, 40. Timberwolves, 56. Fast break points. Lakers, 10. Timberwolves, 20. All the little stuff, Timberwolves are winning at. But they shot 40 from 3, but it didn't matter because the other stuff they were winning, which is crazy. And because J.J. Redick came out and said, I'm not playing Jackson Hayes, he stuck to his guns and he did not play Jackson Hayes. But instead, like Dave said, he played Maxi Kleber, who I forgot he played for the Lakers, to tell you the truth, until he got subbed down. Until I got the notification from Dave that he was questionable to play in this game. I'm like, are you Maxi Kleber? I forgot he's part of the trade. I forgot. He hasn't played. Dave and Tomo, you don't throw a guy in a random game on the elimination game that ain't played the whole year with you. Like, he ain't put out one snap. He ain't put out 1 second with this team. But yet you throw him in game 5 when you're a do or die moment. What? And what he do? He bricked the wide open 3-2. He did nothing also. So, and lastly, to tell the story, like I said, the fourth quarter. Like I said last episode, the fourth quarter told the story of this whole series. The T-Wolves went 1 for 10 from 3 in the fourth quarter. If you would have told me the T-Wolves would had the worst 3-point percentage in playoff history that took 40% or more, if you would have told me McDaniels will only play about 4 minutes in the fourth quarter because he was in foul trouble, he ended up fouling out. Julius Randle was also in foul trouble. If you would have told me all this stuff was happening, Ant went 0 for 11 for 3. If you would have told me all this would happen, Luka had 13 in the fourth quarter, in the third quarter, I would bet Lakers winning this game. But no, they lost still. And the Lakers had a lead going into the fourth. No, Tim was up by 1. But it was a close game. So in the fourth quarter, T was 1 for 3 from the 3, 1 for 10 from the 3-point line. They had 6 offensive rebounds to Lakers 2. LeBron was 2 for 7 in the fourth quarter, was 28%. Luka was 1 for 3. He took 3 shots in the fourth quarter after having 13 in the third quarter. He's the one that sparked them to get that lead in the third quarter before he got subbed out. He gets subbed out, they lose the lead. Remember, he was tired. But in the fourth quarter, why is Luka not getting opportunities? Everybody can complain about Luka defense. We knew this from last year. We knew this from the year before that. Get over it. He's not going to get better. We know that. But we do know he's a really good offensive player. And if you got Luka on your team, give him the ball in the fourth quarter. If he goes 2 for 10, live with it. Live with it. That's what you got him for. I will never forget when Kyrie Irving and the Nets lost to the Bucks. And they asked Kyrie, you shot poorly. What could he have done differently? He said, I wish I would have shot the ball more. I'm cool with that. I'm living and dying with my best player shooting the ball. Not my best player taking 3 shots in a closeout game, which is crazy. So, like I said, LeBron, Futon, they folded. T was in 5.
They folded like a futon, huh, Joe? I mean, there's so many takeaways you can literally take away from this actual series. I mean, it goes down to coaching. It goes down to key players and pivotal moments. It goes to what players actually going to show up. It goes to, I mean, you can say calls, but then again, that goes back to coaching, right? So when I think about it, I went back and looked at the clip and I was like, man, we talked about J.J. Redick. We talked about LeBron. We talked about Luka. And the only thing we talked about from the Timberwolves was Ant, right? And Ant was the sole key factor throughout this series where it was like, okay, if I'm not playing good, I'm gonna make sure somebody else is getting off. And Julius Randle stepped up, Jaden McDaniel stepped up. But the one person we didn't talk about was Rudy Gobert. Like, that was insane that it went over everybody's head that Rudy Gobert was out there and he could still get rebounds. I mean, the fact that you can get 24 rebounds in a real NBA game, I thought he was playing 2K. I thought he was a creative player because I was like, when I heard the stat, I was like, there's no way he got 24 rebounds by himself. Like, there's teams that wish they can get 24 rebounds in the game. And I'm talking about a team collective of 11. I mean, there's one guy in Miami, he's just like, if you could just get 2 rebounds. So imagine with Rudy Gay, his prop bet gonna look like for the next series. They're like, man, 24, you can say you probably get 30, even though that's gonna be a stretch because other coaches gonna actually play their centers, or at least somebody that's gonna get down there to try to make or get a rebound. Because JJ, I know you said your comments after the game about people not being in shape, but what was your mental shape? That's the real question, because it's like second chance points is a point. If you can't stop the other team, if you stop the other team from getting offensive rebounds, and you probably got a chance of actually winning some of these games, and also just making some rotations. I mean, the Lakers look like they're going more towards Luka now, and if you understand, Joe said it on here, and you probably hear everywhere else, but you watch them refuse to lose right now. So Luka is a lob threat away from actually making some plays. So if LeBron was maybe like 5 years younger, I don't know. We might have seen a different Lakers team out there, but because LeBron is older and he can't move as quickly as he used to, Luka's out there trying to make some things shake. But you also take a moment in a game where you know if you lose, you're not coming back tomorrow to say, "Hey, Max, just go in there for 5 minutes." What was he doing? Like a jump scare or something? It was like jump scare, and it failed. It failed real bad because it's just like Max was like, "I don't know what I'm doing out here." But also you got like guys like Dalton Connect that you could have put in games. Like you had rookies that you could have played that's been playing all season, and you decide to go Max. You know what? Max Keebler, Max Kellerman, they both not on ESPN no more because this is insane. This is insane. But we'll see what happens in the all season. We already know what's about to happen. It's about to be all Laker talk. It's about to be what's next for LeBron. But instead, they need to be giving praise to Ant-Man because again, this is another legend that he's putting out. And we're going to see what happens with this Rockets Warriors series. That's got to be the headline going into the next one. Can he do it again? Because he's proven it so far. Can he do it one more time? Hats off to you, Ant-Man and the Wolves, for shutting everybody up.
I got one thing to say, though.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
Let's not give LeBron an excuse, though.
Oh, no.
Because a lot of people were saying that he was still a top 10 player at 40 years old. Let's not use that excuses why they didn't win. Oh, he 40. We know that. We knew that going into the series, but people still picked him to win. So let's not give him that excuse. Still one of the greatest of all time. Still number 2 all time. But come on now, let's stop it.
Yeah, his impact. He was terrible in the fourth quarter in the series. Terrible. He was terrible.
I mean, Luka was too. Luka averaged like 5 points in the fourth quarter. Not good.
Yeah, he did.
It was tied.
But here's the thing, though. JJ Redick, he said that, yeah, he tried to jump on it before somebody get him. He said, yeah, when you make decisions, you it's like a trade-off. So him not making a decision to put in Jackson Hayes, he said the trade-off, we need him more scoring, and if we go big, we can't score. Okay, you can't score, JJ. How come in the regular season you average 113 points a game in the regular season, but in the playoffs you average 100, which is the third lowest in the NBA? How many points they lost by? What was the score last game? Anybody got it?
103-96.
103-96.
They ain't scored 100 last game?
Nope.
But they had a problem with scoring Jackson Hayes. JJ, this is what I don't like. Where's your accountability? He hasn't said not one thing in the media about himself. Somebody asked him about what are some things you could do to be better. He said, well, I'm going to listen to my thoughts when it comes to evaluation and listen to my coaches and my players. That's what he said. He didn't say nothing about what he could have done. But he did say we need to get in championship shape. Guys were missing wide open threes. We missed some open layups. He's talking about everybody else. But what about you, JJ? This is the same guy. When Doc Rivers on ESPN, the same dude on ESPN made a big deal about Doc, which he's right about. Don't take responsibility for nothing. The same guy. Oh, now you in the same hot seat, no pun intended, And now you don't want to do the same. You do the same thing your coach did. I mean, that's what they say. The blind lead the blind. They both fall into a ditch.
Or a lake.
Or a lake.
Well, we got our guest backstage, man. You know, he was making us a little hungry while he was back there, but some teams are hungry. Man, some teams he got the playbook. Okay, all right, so it's even better. We got TTC Carl coming up, and he's gonna talk about his thoughts on the Pistons versus Knicks series. So while we bring Carl up, we're gonna talk about just one quick thing. Jalen Brunson was compared to Allen Iverson last year in the playoffs by some of the moves that he made, and now some people are making songs about Jalen Brunson and saying that he pulled a Jordan on young Osar. I think it's Asar.
Yeah,
man, that boy was out there. But anyway, that was a clutch 3. But I'll let Carl tell you more about this game when he comes up, man. All I'm gonna say is there's no more engine troubles for the Knicks. Vroom vroom. Add them up. There you go.
turn me up.
What? What's going on here, man? What kind of operation is this? And I was up, job, man. How y'all doing?
What's up, Carl?
I'm all right, man. Better days, man. Better days.
Okay, Carl. Knicks 1-6. I mean, no, yeah, 6. There was a lot of games where it was up and down. It could have went either way. I mean, we heard you in the chats. For the people that are not in chats, make sure you join the chat so you can get these live reactions from everybody during game day. But Carl, how you feeling, man?
I said it in the comments, man. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I was sad. I was hurt. I was stuck. The Tigers saved me. The Tigers saved me. They did win last night. Was down 4-2. Went up 7-2 like that. You feel me? But, man, Pistons, man. I was hurt. Another home game where we blow another lead and the Knicks hit a big shot to take the lead late game and we just have no answer and we lose. To lose like that, well, game 3, y'all know I was on here doing the draft show, so I missed that. But to lose like that in games 4 and 6, it's tough, especially because those are games I felt like we should have won and we should have easily won this series. But we were young. We are young, and we did know that going into the series and the lack of experience showed late game closing games out. So it sucks that we lost. It's a good experience. I don't subscribe to the whole notion of we're back. Oh, look at this. We're back. Da, da, da. No, it's a new season. Everybody tries to get better. You lose pieces, you gain pieces. You have to see what happens in the offseason. We're not like a Boston. We're not like a Minnesota where they got like their main core locked in for years to come. We might not have Threesley back. We might not have Schroeder back. Tobias would have one more year, and he's getting up there in age. Asar, he's here. Cade, he's here. Duren, I think Cade and Duren's contracts are both coming up, but I think they do get paid. I feel like I'm in a minority here. I know a lot of people are like, well, wait till we get Jaden Ivey back. I say move him. I say trading wise value is high. Love the kid. He's very talented. I don't know about the fit, however. And I feel like while his value is high and you see what we could do without him, you get some capital, maybe try to use him in a way to get Devin Booker. Devin Booker's from Michigan. So maybe try to do that. But I say move Jaden Ivey, re-sign Threesley, re-sign Schroeder, try to get you another guard in the draft that can get a bucket. Maybe try to get you a free agent big, the backup Duren and Stewart. But I do say the future is bright. I will say that, but I'm not going to say we're back. No, we're a little ways away from being a consistent playoff team.
Chill.
All right. First, before I go, I want to say, tell Beasley chill. He ain't the best shooter in the world.
Oh yeah, I said that in the chat. I said, "Hey, bro, I'm depressed. I'm gonna ride with you." But no, it's 30 and it's Golden State. It's quite
the whole Asar the best defender. I mean, I don't think he is, but he has a case though, in my opinion. He's just still young. You don't have enough work under this belt to say that yet. But best shooter, we all know the best shooter is. Come on. But anyways, Carl, shout out to y'all, man. You know, I picked y'all losing 5 in a hard-fought series. Y'all lost in 6 in a hard-fought series. Literally every game was a tough series, tough game. And because of, I feel as though experience, mainly from your best player, you know, I feel like he struggled to pick and choose when to turn it up, you know, especially late in the fourth quarter. So, but y'all showed that y'all can win a series. Y'all just had to put a complete 4 quarters together. And it's funny because in game 5, the roles reversed. It's usually y'all beating up on the Knicks all game, and then the Knicks making the comeback towards the end of the game, and y'all lose the game. This time it was reversed. The Knicks was beating y'all up the whole game, and y'all made the comeback, took the lead. I think I was gonna win. They took the lead, and then it was like K missed like 2 shots in a row, and then they capitalized on every shot. I feel as though Asar Thompson, he probably felt bad. I said it in the chat. The offensive rebound he gave up, he didn't box out right there. He should have boxed out on Mikal Bridges. He was ball watching.
Yeah,
and then
he said what? He was too focused on Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, who he wasn't guarding. But Jalen Brunson got the shot up and he was watching the ball, and then Mikal got the offensive rebound. It was a big offensive rebound and that. But I do want to say this. K, I feel like K, he was not himself in game 5. So when I say not himself, not too much. I'm not going to kill K because I feel like K had a great series. K just young. K is still learning. This is his first series, first rodeo around the playoffs. But K, do y'all know in this game, game 5, was the most threes he's taken?
You're talking about game 6.
Game
5.
I can get sorry, and then lose a 5 like some teams I know. They lost in 6. Sorry. But in game 6, K took the most threes he shot all series. He took 4 in game 1, 4 in game 2, 5 in game 3, 3 in game 4, 4 in game 5, and 8 in game 6. Took 8 threes, right? And the one I hated the most, the first one he took in the fourth quarter. I feel like he had a lane, but he took a step back 3. What are you doing? But anyways, and also, on contrary to that, right? While taking the most threes he ever taken, he shot the highest percentage he shot all series from 2-point range in that game.
Looked automatic from the mid range and below.
He shot a contested midi in that same fourth quarter after he shot that 3 and made it over. I'm like, do that more. But then he took about 3. The first one he just missed. The last 2, they were like forced floaters that he took, you know, down the stretch.
Especially the last one.
Yeah, that was highly contested. It was the difficulty of that was high. But in game 1, from 2-point range, he shot 41%, then 58%, then 40, then 55, then 38, and 64%. He was money from 2-point range. So K remind me of SGA. When SGA last year in the playoffs, I felt like there were times when he doesn't understand when he supposed to step in and take over. And K, I feel like he struggled with that too. This series. Can you look at the difference in the series? It was a 4 quarter, right? It was a 4 quarter. Like the Detroit Pistons were winning the whole game, and then the 4th quarter they just fumble. In the 4th quarter, Jalen Brunson, 66 points, 50 shots, 50% shooting. 4th quarter, K Cunningham, 43 points, which is like 4th in the NBA, by the way. It's pretty good. 32 shots, but 37% though. He didn't shoot well in the 4th quarter at all.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't think his issue wasn't taking over. I think his issue was just knocking him down. Because in game 4, he was knocking him down. Cat and Jalen Brunson just hit some crazy shots, especially Cat. He hit the fadeaway leaning out of bounds over the backboard in the 4th quarter, and that deep 3 to go up 1.
Come on,
that was crazy. But I wouldn't say K didn't know when. I wouldn't say K wasn't being aggressive in the 4th. Just shots weren't falling in the 4th.
I think the shot selection.
That could be. I could go with you there.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's different from SGA. I'm with you on that. That's true. But yeah, so all in all, this is a great learning experience. But Carl, you're exactly right. The way our roster is built, people say I'm young, but I got a lot of vets in that mix that could not be here for a long term. So I do think Dennis Schroeder was a big thing for y'all, but he's replaceable. But I thought he was a really good savvy vet for y'all. But people who y'all need to keep, y'all need to keep Beasley. Yeah, need to keep Malik Beasley. Tim Hardaway Jr., I can replace him, my opinion.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, but Malik Beasley, out of everybody you named for real, and Jalen, Duran, yeah, need to keep him. I'm not sure what Isaiah Stewart contract looking like. Maybe
I think he has maybe one more year. I'm not sure either because
y'all might move on with him. Tell you the truth.
I don't know because I feel like he's like the backbone of the team. Like he is what the team embodies, and I don't think you can really replace that. I get skill wise, yeah.
Like
I get skill wise, yeah. Like I get skill wise. All right, you could say we can move on from him, but what he means to this team, the locker room, and stuff like that, I do think that's kind of irreplaceable.
I'm on with you. Okay, it's good. But yeah, but kudos to y'all, man. Kudos. 6. I know it was a loss, but y'all took them to 6.
I mean, I made some money off those losses.
So it's a win-lose situation you was in, huh?
Yeah, we lost, but I made a little bit of money.
That's what I'm saying. You get some Chipotle off of it, so it feels good. You know, at the end of the day.
You got Chipotle? How?
No, I'm talking about he won money, so he can go buy
money to buy the Chipotle.
To go buy it. He thought somebody placed a bet. Nah.
I did. Well, I did. So funny story. I did place a bet with a Knicks fan that's not a part of the R2L community for $50. And in game 4, the Knicks were plus 500 to come back and win. So I took $10 and bet it, and it was 10 to 160. So because I was like, if we lose this game 4 is over. So I took 10. It was 10 to 160. And I was like, we win, cool. We tied up. I have us winning in New York. We lose, I think it's over. Then go the money to pay him right here. And we lost. So I got my $10 back, and I got the 50 I owed him when game 6 was over, and I just sent him that 50 as soon as it was over.
Look, man, the gift that keeps on giving. Now,
sometimes you gotta be a little smart.
Especially when coming out of the HOA, we got a lot of we got ways to get there. But you being a founder of HOA and just seeing that your team got here, I mean, I said you started it though, so
they kind of made us start this.
You're right. They called us roommates at first. They talk bad about us, and now look at us. Your team actually had a chance to go to 7 games, and now they still trying to figure out what they're gonna do next year. But that's for Bibby and his pest control. I want to ask you one question because you said something about Jaden Ivey and trading him. What would you? I know you said something about Booker, but what would be another caveat or another piece that you feel like you can add to this team?
Well, to be honest, I haven't thought that much into the player specifically. I don't even think Jaden Ivey and some picks is enough for Booker, to be completely honest with you. But I just want a bucket getter, like another guy to alleviate some pressure off Cade. Because I felt like that's what we missed. We missed another guy that can consistently get a bucket. Like Tobias, he was good this series, I'm not going to lie. But was he consistent for both halves? That is very debatable. He would have a great half and then kind of go missing in another half. Now, part of that could be because he was guarding Cat, and obviously there's a clear size mismatch with that. But just another guy that can just get a bucket consistently to alleviate pressure off Cade. Cade don't have to play as many minutes, even though I'm not mad at that. He's still young. But like I said, a guy that can get a bucket. Or a backup big. I just think Jaden Ivey's value is high right now. He was having a good season before he got hurt. And I think we should take advantage. Like last 2 years ago, excuse me, 2 years ago,
the pollen crazy.
we had Bogdanovich, right? And I remember it was proposed that somebody was going to give us 2 first-round picks for Bogdanovich. And I was like, yeah, move off of him. He's not going to be here for the future. And it didn't happen. And then we barely got anything for Bogdanovich. I think we got I want to say Quentin Grimes and Alec Burks or something like that. It was something very minute.
You made jokes about that in the chat, right?
Yeah. Javon was killing me. Like, why would you do that? He's part of your future. I'm like, no, he's not. He's not a part of our future. You sell high. And so I'm thinking the same way with Jaden Ivey.
But, oh man, I got a candidate for you.
I'm listening.
Cause Devin Booker, I don't think they're gonna trade him.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't know. That's just wishful thinking because he's from Michigan.
Oh, I tell my guy.
Don't do it.
They talk about Brady Bill.
I knew it.
I saw that on YouTube today, and I almost punched my phone.
I knew it.
No, I'm sorry.
I ain't say trade for him. If they cut him, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't be mad if we signed him off a cut. But I'm not trading Jaden Ivey for Bradley Beal. No, I'm just sticking with Jaden Ivey at that point.
Nah, go ahead, though. I just wanted to ask that one question because you all touched on mainly the main points of the actual series itself. But I just wanted to ask you that one question because you brought it up.
No disrespect to Bradley Beal, by the way, but
from you. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, he's gonna come back in another 4 years.
I'm about to say trading for Bradley Beal is that's basically saying you giving up on the season because winning don't go wherever he goes. I'm sorry, it's just
He got 2
that's
more
what
years
he.
on the contract though.
But he got a no trade clause.
Well,
What
I'm
you
pretty
mean?
sure that
trade
would
him
be
in 2
waived.
years?
Yeah, if you trade him, is waived, but still no.
But you gonna trade him in 2 years? You sound on this year. He got 2 years left.
He has to want to go there for one. So
1,
it's still his
2,
choice.
too much money, and 3, no. He's like
Yeah, he
older.
get
He's
paid
like
$50 million a year. Never
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
That's what I'm
too
saying,
much
though.
money.
He could buy Detroit with that 50 mil.
Yo, he got a
Alright,
player option for
you're
$57
right.
million.
Yeah, no. And then not only that, he's probably what 32, 33.
How old am I?
He definitely in his 30s. He ain't young.
How old am I? He gotta be like 31. maybe.
$57 million. Quick, go ahead, Dave. Dang,
Look,
that's crazy.
How old is Bradley Beal?
Joe, when you started comparing him to somebody, the first person I thought about was Anthony Edwards. Because remember, it was just about shot selection. His shot selection maybe was the only issue to me because there were times in the game, especially in the second half of the game when it was down to crunch time, when he was settling for shots. I'm like, Cade, just drive the ball, or get to your mid range, get to your spots, because he was making more than he was missing when he went to the mid range and he went to the paint. He had a better chance of making those shots. Now, yes, he didn't make every single layup he made, but he had that's chances to get to the line. That's forcing him into foul trouble. You already had OG Anunoby who was in foul trouble. You had Cat that was in foul trouble, so you could have forced them to get those guys out. That would mean they bringing guys off the bench that aren't used to playing in playoff minutes. That gives K the extra ability to continue to drive it to the paint and get other guys involved. Now, a guy that I think they should clearly not bring back is Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm sorry. You don't bring him back. You don't bring that guy back. He had 2 games that was pretty good in this series, and that was what, game 3? Was it game 2 and game 3? He had 24.
No, it was game 4.
I know he had 24 points in one game and then 14 in the game right after that.
I want to say it was game 4. He had a coming out party. Let me double check. I'll get back to you.
But those are, other than that, he scored in single digits in every single game. And then he had a game where he didn't score nothing. He had 0 on the board. So I just don't. That's a guy you don't bring back. And that was a guy that was supposed to be a shooter for you. And he couldn't knock down a 3 at all in that game.
It was game 3.
Okay, yeah. So game 3, he had 24, and then in game 4, he had 14.
Yeah.
He had 19 game 1.
Yeah, he definitely cooked game 1. I gotta give him his props. Him and Threesley cooked game 1. We just campaign happened, which never happened again in the series. That also made me mad.
Yeah. And then another thing when you want to talk about the series, this was it really came down to the fourth quarter because they, other than game 1, every single game after that was a single digit loss for either team. The Pistons won by 6 in game 2. They lost by 2 in game 3, lost by 1 in game 4, won by 3 in game 5, then lost by 3 in game 6. Every single game was close. This was a really close series. They really could have won, but the inexperience is what caused them to lose. Because you had Cade, just his shot selection just wasn't good. And yeah, at times it did seem like he was kind of hesitant on kind of sort of taking over, sort of. But that's why I compared it to Ant more, because you see there are times when Ant can drive the ball and get to the paint, and he's just settling for threes. Like in game 5 against the Lakers, even though they won that game, they shot a lot of threes. They shot 47 threes in that game.
But that's different though, because Ant is a 3-point shooter. Cade isn't really a 3-point shooter. He's like a mid-range guy. That's a little different.
Yes, he is. But what I'm just talking about the shot selection period. I just feel like he settled for those longer shots instead of just getting to where his spots and getting to the paint. Now I think he had a really good postseason for his first postseason in the NBA. I think he had really good. He played really well. And Carl, I'm actually with you. I think he should have been the most improved player of the season because he got the Pistons from being the worst team in the NBA the season before to becoming a playoff team, not a play-in team, but a playoff team, and took the Knicks to 6. And
Well,
he
I do
averaged
want to
15 plus
I do
points.
want to address that. I don't want to bring winning into that because then I'll be contradictory of how I normally feel. I feel like most improved shouldn't really have anything to do with winning because it's improvement of your game. But I do still think he should have been MIP. And I do feel like it's crazy how when Ja won MIP, nobody said these first and second overall picks shouldn't be winning MIP. But when Cade was in discussions for MIP, now all of a sudden these first overall picks shouldn't be MIP nominees. It's real crazy. I do want to address that.
I agree with you on that one. That is crazy that they only brought it up for K and they didn't bring it up then. But I think the Pistons' future is promising because you got a coach who's been in the playoffs multiple times before, and his first season there he got into the playoffs. So I think it's very promising as long as you figure some pieces around Cade and definitely do whatever you can to keep Malik Beasley. I believe if you build around this and you build around it the right way, the Pistons can definitely be a playoff consistent team.
Yeah, I think y'all with this playoffs. I think with the playoffs in the first time, you realize how important the regular season is to get a higher seed because the deeper you get into the playoffs, the better your team usually gets, the bigger the chemistry and all that stuff. So I think y'all will actually try to fight to get one of those top seeds. So y'all will be playing one of these low tier teams in the for like a.
Man, I don't know because we won on the road. We ain't necessarily won at home, so we might want to stay at the low seed. Give us a better chance.
That's in the regular season though. Y'all had the same identical record at home. Y'all did that way. That's crazy.
Man, it's crazy because we haven't won a playoff game at home still since 2008 when we beat Boston. And we lost it. I think we lost that series, but that was our last playoff win at home. So we're still in search for that. Relax, but it wasn't a shot. I was just throwing out a fact.
And that's crazy because
I can shoot for you. You be
and that's crazy. It's crazy he said that because the last 5 games in that series, the road team won every single game.
So, but
and it came down to the last few possessions.
Yeah, I do want to say this though, because I know y'all are killing Cade for shot selection, and I do think that's part of it. I think our main reason in those fourth quarters turnovers. We've had silly turnovers, and it's Cade. I've been telling y'all told me to ignore it, and I've been telling y'all. I know Cade has been playing well, but these turnovers are my biggest pet peeve with Cade. And you're like, man, and a lot of people told me, well, you should ignore it. He's averaging like 25, 26, 7, and 8 or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. He has to stop these turnovers.
Because it's bad in game 4.
Yes. It's been bad the whole series. It's not just Cade. It's been the whole team, but it has been primarily Cade. And it rears its ugly head. It reared its ugly head, and we lost. It was real bad game 1. That's when we had the double-digit lead and campaign went crazy. But beyond campaign went crazy. I don't know if y'all remember. We had like 2-3 back-to-back turnovers that led to
bad
easy layups.
Turnovers.
So turnovers are also another issue. I think that was really our biggest issue for real, turnovers.
Yeah, and then I know you said every game says game 4, game 1 was close because it came down to the fourth quarter. Game 1 was legit the fourth quarter. That was the prime example of fourth quarter.
We were up like 10 or 11 and then went on a crazy drought because we kept turning the ball over and giving them easy buckets.
Man. Crazy. But.
Well, I mean, the experience is there now. Oh, my goodness. Carl, you want to drop your last words, man? Tell the people where they can find you.
So last words. First of all, appreciate y'all for having me as always. CTC will be live next Thursday at 8:00 featuring Dave and Ace. We will be reviewing our ACC previews. Spoiler alert, I did pick the ACC champion, correct? But Tigers, first team to 20 wins in the American League. 2 years ago, I was getting laughed at. I was getting clowned. I was called a neighbor of the Nets. And now I spell the Nets with a G at the beginning because that's all they are. They're just a bug in my ear. Get them away out of here. 20-12, schoolball day tonight. Can't wait. Let's beat the Angels. Shout out Spencer Torkelson. Amazing turnaround. Went from probably one of the most hated Tigers on Twitter that I have seen to now one of the most beloved Tigers I have seen on Twitter. Tied for second in home runs from what I've saw. So shout out to him. Amazing turnaround. Pistons, we're going to be fine. Asar Thompson, get in the gym. Give me a midi. I don't want a 3-ball yet. Let's work our way up. Let's get a midi. Let's get some free throws in. Be a better free throw shooter. Love the defense. Love what I saw from you. Just can't. The first couple games you looked unplayable on offense. I loved what I saw from you in game 5 and 6. Just need that a little bit more consistent. Cade, cut these turnovers. Ravens. Let's go, Lamar. That's all I gotta say. With a guy Lamar, I'm good.
I thought you was gonna come up with a little saying
Nah,
like some other
I don't
people
need
do.
to, bro. Everybody know what it is about Lamar.
Unless you're a Steelers fan, then they would say something different about Lamar.
That's because they live in delusion.
That is true. I do too, so I'm a Cowboy fan.
I can't wait to that. Hey, and now your starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mason Rudolph. That's gonna hit like a drug that was big in the 80s. I can't wait.
They still sell the soda for people who don't understand.
I can't wait to hear
People
that.
who don't understand.
Can't wait to hear that.
Your team knew that in the 80s, in the 90s.
Oh, hey, both of them. The Steelers.
I was about to say
too.
both of them. I don't know why y'all keep
Steelers
talking. Look, y'all keep letting the Steelers slide with that. They love drinking that soda. Some good soda back then. Took the stuff out of there, and now it's all caffeine. All right, y'all. All right, Carl.
I can't wait to hear the Tomlinisms behind Mason Rudolph being trash and we don't have a quarterback. I have a Lamar Jackson for the 18th year. Like, come on, bro.
Well, you had a chance to draft Shadir Sanders at 21.
Oh, I can't wait. Imagine when they start saying that about the Browns. I'm like, oh, y'all got Shadir Sanders. I'm like, ooh.
Could have drafted Lamar.
Could have had him too. Well, make sure y'all tune in to CTC. Carl, have fun with your Tigers. I mean, it is a marathon, but you're winning it right now, so have your fun.
Bro, y'all already done fell out in the back, bro. Trust me.
You seen your team win the championship?
Bro, I didn't even see y'all win a championship. I wasn't watching baseball then. It doesn't matter to me.
So why you doing that? Why you doing that now?
I have a tweet. Look, no funny. I have a tweet when y'all won saying that DC fans only care about this championship because the Commanders suck.
Right.
That was them.
That's a fact.
I cared about it because the Cowboys suck.
And the Mystics won that year too. So yeah.
Mystics,
Right.
Caps won.
Look,
I obviously didn't call them
about to win
Commanders.
again.
I called them the Redskins at the time because it was 2019. But that was because I was like,
They might get the
I don't
name
care
back. They
about
going
baseball
back.
for real.
All right,
I didn't. But
yeah,
they're not going back. I want to say no.
Oh, the
Don't
name.
say no.
Oh, I'm about to say they got the building. In there.
Yeah, we keeping it Commanders.
They got the blue.
We going back to arcade though.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
About to be traffic. I better be careful.
Yeah, y'all. Two of y'all.
I don't be in the
I gotta
stadium.
change my background.
It's about to be traffic. Like
I gotta change my background. But all right, Carl, man. We'll see you next time, man.
See y'all boys.
All right. You still there? I want to say something bad. He still mean yeah. Yeah, don't ever care about no Tigers. Yeah, because he would have said something. All right, man. Y'all see how much fun we have here, but we got to talk about a couple more bucks. Y'all ain't been dropping no super chat, so we ain't really been seeing no bucks. I'm trying to see a super chat.
I ain't
You
seen
know
a
what
buck
I'm
in a
saying?
No
A lot
bull.
of people ain't like they ain't got no more bucks to give. You know what I'm saying? Because some people saying,
You know what? You know what? Yesterday was the first of the month. People still taking care of rent and everything. So I get it.
Wait, go.
I'm gonna let y'all have that, Dave. Shout out to Dave being the people's champ. Y'all can still drop 50 cents though. But shout out to Dave, the people's champ. Or become a member, then you ain't gotta worry about it. You know, just keep it recycled. Keep the dollars recycled in your community. You understand? Don't let me get to preaching. But let's talk about Tyrese Halliburton and how he eliminated Giannis, Dame, and Doc. Doc didn't even have a chance to win 3 games, y'all. He just got 1. So now he can't even, his whole little spiel, he has to reverse it. Well, at least we got 1 game. But, fellas, out of all the series that we picked, we all had some things to say about series. I mean, I thought this was gonna go 7, so technically, I was off, but my team was right. I believed in Ty. It's Ty, man. You my guy. You know, you helped me win this one series, man. You know, the Pacers won it in 5, and you had all the sayings. I know you probably in the comments if you're watching right now, or unless you watching the fight. You're going to have something to say about Halliburton and them and how they won it in 5. But this team, man, they're dangerous. And they found another team that was weak and they was limping at the time and they made some things shake. It took an overtime for them to actually close it out, which was a little scary as well because I was like, I need y'all to make something shake, fellas. Like, hurry up. I mean, I do want it to be over in 7, but if y'all give Dame and them a little momentum, I mean, Giannis and them some momentum is gonna get ugly. And the fact that y'all back there cracking up, I know something crazy is up on this in the comments. But I ain't about to say too much. But from them coming in and losing in the playoffs last year and bouncing back and saying, you know what, we're gonna show y'all that we are a team to compete with. The Pacers did their thing. The offense was there. You already know we can talk about the Bucks. So many things you can say about the Bucks right now. I think the Bucks and the Lakers are right now two teams that's gonna have a long off season and a lot to talk about. But as far as the Pacers, they got a lot to talk about with this next matchup because I think they play the Celtics, right?
Yeah. The Knicks play the Celtics. The Pacers play the
Celtics. Yeah, the Knicks is the ones. The Knicks the ones that's about to get swept. Okay, so yeah, about they done. They done. I'm sorry, and I'll eat my words if the Knicks win a game. I think they're not gonna win a game, but Pacers. I want to say hats off to y'all and just how y'all performed throughout this actual series. There was so much that we could talk about, like I said, but I want to talk about one player. And they say he's the most overrated player in the NBA. And some people would say will come off as some hate, but this guy just shows up every time his name is called or his number is called, and he makes the right play or he's going to make the play. Even though he didn't play in the Olympic Games, that's where everybody getting their jokes from. But he came to the Pacers from the Kings, and he gave this franchise a breath of fresh air. And Joe, I know. You said it last show. You admitted to it, so it is what it is. But shout out to Tyrese Halliburton for leading this team. And now you got to go and prove it again. Because if they could beat the Cavs, I really think that topic that we had about who's the most dangerous or scariest team, I'm going to change it when we get to that point. But I said the Pacers are dangerous because they can score in every aspect of the game and they can also play defense. And now they're going up against a team that kind of almost mirrors them a little bit. I'm going to say Mitchell is the better player over Halliburton for right now. But as far as rosters, they looking a little even to me. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong on that one. But shout out to the Pacers. And like we said, I don't have too much to say about the Bucks because they kind of put themselves in the situation by hiring Doc. You was winning in the beginning of the season and you fire the coach that was winning to bring Doc in. For what reason? And RBO said it. You want Doc? And we said, don't sign back because Doc can't win. He had a nice jingle. Go check out RBO because it was nice. But go ahead, Dave.
Hold up. First of all, this is why we were laughing, Tomo, because you made a comment about super chats and they delivered.
Hey, shout out to y'all, man.
So shout out to the JMO, aka 6 Millie. Shout out to the R2L family. Hashtag Tomo, I don't give a buck. 199 super chat. And then right after that, we had Blaze. Shout out to Dino Blaze. 199 super chat. What was said?
Hey, man, shout out to my R2L family, man. Y'all boys came through.
No, they definitely did. It was right on time, too. And it's funny because Blaze said as soon as he logged in, that's what he heard. As soon as he logged in, you said that.
Well,
and shout out to Kevo for giving Ty his jersey.
That's exactly why they won, though, Kev. You closed the series out.
Hey, but Joe, I'm gonna need you to go real quick. I gotta do something real quick.
I got you. And Blaze, I'm sorry, bro. We try to do something different, but we're gonna go back to that. We're gonna start the presses when the super chat comes in. All right, because we appreciate all the super chats. But the Pacers, man, I want to give Ty some love real quick. The Pacers. I mean, like you said, I feel like we talked about every time we talked about this series, we brought up the Bucks, right? We talked about the Bucks this, the Bucks that. But I want to talk about the Pacers for a second. Rick Carlisle, he got this team ran like an oil machine. When you watch the Pacers play, it's a coach's dream. Like the Pacers isn't it a perfect example of how a coach want their team to play. I'm talking about everybody's giving 100%. Everybody's moving without the ball. Everybody's unselfish, making the extra pass. They're playing full court man defense. They're going guys man to man. They're communicating. They got a facilitator of Tyrese Halliburton who can score when need be, but also takes care of the ball while having great assists. He don't turn the ball over a lot. His assist-to-turnover ratio is crazy. He was so clutch this game in Game 5. We talk about at home, right? It's all out the cat for climbing out there. All right. But at home, you're up, then you're down. Then we get into overtime. Gary Trent Jr. went crazy. He had 12 points in overtime. We talk about 4 threes. I believe 3 at the 3. Tomo, his threes were clutch. And I thought it was over. But Tyrese Halliburton kept pressing. He had 8 points in overtime, 6 in the fourth quarter, right? Which is 14 in overtime in the fourth quarter, which is really good. But Gary Trent Jr., he fumbled that game. He had 2 turnovers. He had a one jump when he basically two ones he dropped. He had 2 passes that he fumbled and it went out of bounds. Tyrese Halliburton called Giannis up and wanted him off the pick. 1-on-1, their best player, former defensive player of the year, scored on him game winner in his careers. So I give him his props. And the only thing I want to talk about with the Bucks is Doc Rivers. Tomo, watching this series, they got our coach. For real. The little things the Bucks weren't doing. The one game they won, Gary Trent Jr. almost had 40, Tomo. That's the only game they won. That's an anomaly. You can't bank on 40 points for Gary Trent Jr. But the Bucks, when I watch them off ball, they're terrible. Like, it's not like the Pacers are really good offensively. But a lot of it is the Bucks' effort on defense, the lack of communication. The lack of preparation for this team was bad. Like, you saw it. You saw the Bucks. They were not prepared for this Pacers team. They just weren't. So the Pacers, they do nothing differently than the regular season. It's just that they're just a bad matchup because how they're coached. And Doc Rivers, if he's there next year, man, the Bucks don't. Giannis leave. Get out of there. It's Milwaukee. It's not like you in LA, New York. It's not like you like somewhere where it's like very popular. No disrespect to anybody from Milwaukee. I live in Rhode Island. I live in the smallest state in the world. If Rhode Island had a team and they were playing the Bucks, I would have told you left 5 years ago. But Milwaukee, bro, the only thing they got over there is a daggone amusement park. I forgot what it's called. It's named after a city over there. The only thing they really got over there. I'm being honest. So get out of Milwaukee and go somewhere, Giannis, where you will be coached well because he needs a closer. Tomo, that's the last thing I'm going to say. I said this on the doghouse, all right? You would have been on the team. Hey, bro, stop. But I don't know if that's a shout out to me or disrespect to me. That's a shout out to me because I'm definitely NBA worthy. But anyways, yeah, Tomo, real quick, all right? Let's think about all the big men who won the championship since you've been born. Akeem Olajuwon, Shaq, Tim Duncan, Kareem. I'm just playing. You won't born Kareem one. KG, right? And even Giannis. All of them were either closers or had a closer.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis needs that, and Dame not gonna be the same, but he had an Achilles injury. You know how that is after you come back from that. So Giannis need to go somewhere when he has other scorers around him that can close out a deal as he gets his 35 points during the game. So Pacers, they definitely earned that W. They were the better team. And like I said, when I made my picks out of game one, out of all the games, I had 4 teams that lost game one. This was a series I was like, dog, I'm worried, bro. I made the wrong choice. So yeah. I just
want to say one thing about the Bucks before you go, Dave. It's funny that Kyle Kuzma leaves a team where they play bad basketball to now go to a team where Giannis probably is end up going to leave, and this team is going to play bad basketball. Like that's, man, I feel bad for you, Kyle. Go ahead, Dave.
It's gonna be interesting how the offseason is gonna work for Giannis. That's one thing I'm looking forward to because I want to see exactly what's gonna happen. Now, I saw something that I don't believe. Let me say this first. I don't believe this, but I saw something that said that sources close to the situation believe that the Miami Heat are going to be at the very top of his selection. And I said, all right, now. Joe, what I say? What I said the other day, I said the Miami Heat gonna be in the conversation for any star player that you hear.
Stop the cap.
It's especially gonna be for Giannis because you know who Giannis has and who Giannis' agent is, right?
Who?
Well, I don't know his name, but his agent is the same agent that Bam Adebayo has. They have the same exact agent. So I'm like, okay. And they had the same agent when he got his contract. He didn't come to Miami then. What makes you think he's going to come to Miami now? I mean, and if you look at what just happened in Miami, is that really where he wants to go? Like, I don't know. Now, Giannis had a phenomenal series. He averaged 33 points per game in this series. He played great. But outside of him, what else did they really have? Bobby Portis came in and played a great game. But that was pretty much it. They had the game in their hands in game 5. But they lost it in overtime. And then you look at what Tyrese Halliburton did at the end. He called for the pick. He was like, yeah, come on. Send him over. I want Giannis on me. Got Giannis on him, crossed him, and then hit the layup on him. He hit the game-winning bucket on a guy who's considered one of the best defenders in the league. People forget about that when it comes to Giannis. He's not just a great scorer. He's also considered a great defender. And he put him on skates and took him to the paint. Tyrese Halliburton is probably the best playmaker in the NBA. If you look at what he's able to do without turning the ball over, he had a total of 120, I think it's 123 turnovers the entire season. The man just knows how to take care of the ball. He knows how to get everyone else involved, man. And Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get. Shout out to my guy Dino Blaze again for another 199 super chat. Daily double. Our tour hands down best sports network. We appreciate you, Blaze. And once midnight hits, that's when you and Baby can, cease fire for a day. But until then, by all means, do what you do.
Was the purge?
Nah, they kind of agreed to, have ceasefire for a day. And I was like, well, it's too late. Y'all kind of already went at it earlier today. So just until midnight, I mean, you pretty much, all hands on deck. But Joe, I gotta give it to you. We had a topic where we talked about the scariest teams in the Eastern Conference, and you picked the Pacers. I picked the Pistons. Now, the Pistons were inexperienced, and we saw that in that series.
That's why I said.
And that's why you said that. You're absolutely right. And the thing is, you picked the Pacers, and who did they end up playing against? Doc Rivers and the Bucks.
Yeah, I picked the Bucks. Man.
The guy, me and you, we both of us picked the Bucks. But we know
that is a little backwards.
I know, Tomo. It don't make sense.
Y'all both said it was because of Giannis, though.
It was, but we still remember he had Giannis last year. Because was it no? Actually, Giannis was hurt last year. Giannis was hurt last year, and it was just Dame. Yeah. And now you only had Giannis for real. And even though Dame came back, Dame got hurt. So again, Dame, please get well soon. You came back and you had blood clots that you had to deal with at first, and now you got torn Achilles. So whatever you got to do to get better, please make sure you get better. But I mean, Doc Rivers just has not had other than the Celtics, he has not had a finals run with another team in any franchise he's coached. Hasn't sniffed the finals since he left the Celtics. So I just look, y'all. Doc Rivers in the playoffs. This is his career. Won a championship in 2008. He has 3 blown 3-1 leads, 5 blown 3-2 leads, 2 blown 7-point leads in the final minute, 17-33 record in closeout games, 15-20 record in elimination games, 6-10 record in game 7, 10 first round exits.
Come on now, dog.
And Joe,
come on,
in spite
man.
of that, we picked the Bucks to win this series. Look, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Giannis is looking for an environment to where he can win. And honestly, right now, I don't see that happening. I don't see it happening with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, there are some teams that does make that does make some sense. You're going to hear OKC. Now, the reason why you hear OKC is because the OKC has 3 first-round picks for this season. This season alone, and they still got SGA, they got Chet, they got pieces to add to that with the first-round picks. And you think that, remember what the Timberwolves traded to get Rudy Gobert? You don't think that the Bucks are going to ask for that for Giannis? I believe they will. So you got OKC. Think about the Spurs. The Spurs got some talent around them that they can give up to go and get Giannis. And the Rockets. The Rockets still got a young team, and they don't know what they're going to do with some of their star players. I mean, I know Jalen Green played well in the last game, but he's only played well in 2 playoff games so far this season. Other than that, it's been single-digit games for Jalen Green. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But the Pacers have shown that, hey, look, y'all said that we had a Mickey Mouse run last year. Giannis was here this time. So what's the excuse? Exactly. Dame wasn't there. I mean, we all knew Dame was hurt before the series started. So we can't say that. And honestly, did they really look this good when Dame was available? They didn't. They have not looked. We all know that they were a bad defensive team whether Dame was there or not. And that showed in this series. And the Pacers was just like, you know what? It don't matter. And I said this in the doghouse earlier today. Shout out to Tim Hardaway Sr. because he's the one that made Tyrese Halliburton turn up. He talked trash about him, said that he was overrated, that he really don't think he all that. He wish he could play him because he would bust him on the court. So
that's true. And
the crazy thing is, people don't say this as much. It was the players that voted him as the most overrated player in the league. It wasn't just coaching. It was the players. So the most overrated player in the league got one of the best players in the league out in 5 games in the first round.
Overrate this.
So shout out to Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers. And shout out to Miles Turner. A lot of people not talking about Miles Turner either. Miles Turner had back-to-back 20-point games in game 4 and 5. So shout out to Miles Turner too.
Another player that y'all not talking about is a major player and key contributor to the R2L network and the R2L chats. And he backstage. Let's bring up we merging shows. I was saying bring up my other co-host, co-host from In the Red Corner. What's up, Tom?
Yes, sir. Hello.
What up, man? What up? I heard y'all talking about the pizza. I had to get on.
Oh, I was about to say.
I had to get on.
The ID.
So, yeah. Continue. I see when I get time.
The man Dilly about to take a passport photo right now.
I mean, so you been calling it Pacers in 5, or I think you said sweep. I think you said 5. Correct.
You said Pacers in 6.
You on your way to Cleveland?
That's a 6.
That's right. Yeah, he said Pacers in 6.
Okay. Since JMO say we sweep, better beat your feet. Skeet. Pacers in 7.
Come on, man. You trying to get us canceled? Come on, Ty.
That's my dog.
Oh, my God.
That's my dog.
Oh, my God.
Wasn't expecting that.
This is going to be a sweep. Ooh.
But Ty, how you feeling right now? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not surprised, but
great. I already knew it was gonna happen. I already knew we could beat the Bucks easily. I didn't worry about that at all. Some people kept saying we're gonna lose, like on Unfazed, here, saying we're gonna lose. I'm saying they proved them wrong. I took notes. I have stuff written down. I took notes. Like some people still saying we sweet, but I'm taking notes. Just know.
Somebody did say that.
Yeah, I told them I'm taking notes, man. So I want to everybody on that side stay on that side. That's all.
I just know no one on here called it. I know no one on here called it.
We still got 12 more games to go though. So more to go.
I do want to ask you this though: how you really feeling about the Cavs?
The Cavs, they're a good team. That's gonna be. That's why I said 7 games. It's gonna be a great matchup, but we're gonna win though, because we're gonna tire them out. We're gonna press them. We're gonna press them to death. We're gonna tire them out. They got great defense, but I think our offense is strong enough to beat them offensively, and defensively we're strong enough to beat almost any team.
and a lot of people not saying this, you know, the the Pacers are the only team to beat them 3 times this year. Pacers are the only team to beat the Cavaliers 3 times this year. I think they won that series 3-1. So they're the only team that beat them 3 times this year.
Man, it's gonna be a
Good
good
call
matchup.
out.
This is one of the
Good
best
call.
matchups in the second round.
I didn't even know that. So you know what I'm saying? Pacers and 6. Forget that. Pacers and 6.
He
Pacers
said,
and
you know, I'm gonna take a game off. Pacers and six. Okay.
Yeah. But what's your overall feedback from the game, though? I mean, for the series.
the last series or new series?
Last
No,
series.
the last series.
The last series, we only thing they really had was what's that dude?
Giannis.
The other dude that on the start. What's his name? Trent. That's the only dude they really had.
Oh,
Because
Trent
we
Green.
already know. We already know
Gary Trent
John's going to do
Green.
what John's do because we can't stop John. We already know that we can't stop him. So we just let him do what he want to do. All we had to do is stop everybody else. But then Trent go out there shooting 8 threes in a row. So that was what's killing us in that one game we lost. But then I knew he wasn't doing that again, so I wasn't worried about that because he did it one time. He ain't getting no 40 points again. He got 33 last game, I think, or something like that. But yeah. And then overtime, I was scared. Overtime, I was scared when we were down 118 to 111. I was like, oh, my 40 seconds. I was like, oh, game over. And then I was like, if we lose this game, I don't know. I'm this. I was scared. Like, I don't know if we lose this game. I don't know. Yeah, because we gotta go back. We gotta go back to Milwaukee. And they gonna be on the high. I'm like, God, I don't know. So then when we came back and won, I was happy. I ain't worried about it anymore.
The one thing I would have told you if y'all would have lost that game, even though you would have said, I don't know, a little voice would have popped up and said, they got done. He gonna find a way. He gonna find a way to mess this up. He gonna find a way. Like call a timeout when he ain't got no more. Now y'all gotta shoot a tech, win the game by 1. He was just gonna find a way to mess this series up.
Come in with a hoodie on with a whisper in his ear. But look,
but then also, what you haven't had a real bad game yet. Holliburton ain't had a bad game yet, so he's due for a bad game.
Yeah, I
was thinking if we lost that game, next game or game after that, he's probably gonna have a bad game because he's due for one.
So I do want to ask you this because we're gonna talk about this real quick. But the John Halliburton and Giannis situation. What's your feedback on that?
I saw the whole video. I think Halliburton's father was in the wrong because he got all the way. He wasn't like partially on the court. This dude walked all the way to the 3-point line and got in Giannis' face, talking trash. So to me, Giannis like that's a strong man not to hit somebody like that because dude just walked all the way across the court, yelling at you, talking about whatever. I don't know what he was saying to him, but whatever he's saying to him. But he like dude's already like Giannis already lost, and then you just come out of nowhere in his face talking like that. He already got high emotions, and it's gonna be harder to control those emotions like that when you're already mad already. So, yeah. So for me, Giannis did a good job controlling himself.
Would you ever hit him if that was you?
Which one?
If I hit the father, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. I was talking about
probably do what Giannis did. Got so close to him, but not touch him.
Yeah, I'd probably comment on him. Yeah, he's like 60 years old. If I hit him, he might die. I don't know.
No, if Giannis hit that dude, come on now.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, well, what have made what you just said even more funny is if Giannis would have swung and this 60-year-old dude would have turned into Floyd and ducked, Giannis would have like, wait a minute.
Then they hold everybody back. Giannis can't do nothing after that. Yeah,
I think his father was drunk because ain't no way
he had to.
That gotta be liquor. That's liquor courage right there.
Yeah,
he was like 7 foot tall, bro.
Did you hear what he said in the interview?
That's straight liquor courage right there. Huh?
Did you hear what he said in the interview?
Who, the father?
Yeah, how he was looking through Giannis. You saw that?
I mean, that's a lie.
See, I told you, Joe. I told you.
He wasn't looking past. He walked all the way down the court to the third 3-point line and looked right at him.
First,
nobody.
No, Ty. He was facing the other way. Then he turned around and looked at Giannis.
Turn around and start doing this with a t-shirt. Like, bro, you know he's right there.
And then he's trying to stop the father. So I'm like, bro, he should have just calmed down. So I think he should be suspended though. I agree.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, the Pacers banned him for the rest of the playoffs.
Yo, appreciate your time, man.
But the only thing the thing I'm worried about that is I want to see how Holly gonna play without his father being on court on the sideline. Hope we don't.
He out
Like,
for
hope we
playoffs.
don't go back to beginning of the year, Holly. I don't want to see that
I
Holly.
mean,
anymore.
as long as Tim Hardaway is out there talking trash, I think.
Oh
he's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I need Tim Hardaway to come to the games. Go to every game. Go to every game because I know because his son is out, so he got time now. He got a lot of time now. He can come to our games.
Hey.
He got plenty of time.
It's right up the street. You might
Mhm.
as well. Both games, Cleveland, Indiana is right there. He in Detroit. You
Yeah.
might as well go to both games.
I would love
He
to
going
see
to Cancun
Detroit
with
and
the son,
Indiana
so
after he said
might as
that
well.
by Holly.
Tim Hardaway ain't going to Cancun. He might go to Staten Island or something. He ain't going to Cancun. he ain't getting money like that. I'm just saying. What? You said Cancun? I ain't gonna lie. If I can go to Cancun, he can go to Cancun. Y'all right. Y'all right. Get an Airbnb or something. Because he's
There
gonna
you
have
go.
to talk to his agent. He ain't got. All right, look, y'all done got me on a tangent.
I mean, your Cancun is Cabo, right?
You right. Right. I need to go back because the Cowboys actually want to playoff. I need to stay in
Fact.
Cabo during the playoffs. We might win the Super Bowl. That's what it is. All right, so
So you never know
I'm
playoffs.
trying to make sure my Wi-Fi good, and I got to make sure I can get back because some crazy stuff happening in the world these days. I might be stuck in Cabo.
Only to laugh right there, but yeah, that's true though.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead, Ty, man. Thanks for joining the show, Ty, man. You said you got your winning in 6.
Yeah, 6.
6-1-6.
Yeah, 6.
All right. Now tell the folks where they can find you, man. You just ain't popping up talking about the Pacers now.
Okay.
Man, y'all can find me on In the Rear Corner. That's how you can find me.
Dang.
Hey.
Straight to the point.
Short
Ty.
and sweet. Short and simple.
Straight to the point.
Man, I can
All right,
find, he said he was mad too. Man, I can find me in the red corner, man. Stop asking.
You might be mad at some of these fights that's going on.
Y'all know where I'm
Oh, you
at.
watching fights right now?
On my phone, yeah. Shout out to Freemies.
Hey,
All right,
shout out. They might ban them.
All right, Ty. It was nice having you on the show, Ty. You gotta go back to our
Everybody can.
Sunday evenings, man. Sunday evenings, FCC Airways can stand some of the stuff that we be saying. It's Friday night.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Everybody watching, yeah.
Yeah, so
Erase that, edit that.
we live.
You said it's too late now. We live.
We live. You know this. All right, man. All right, Ty, man. We gonna see you later, man.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, though.
All right, Ty.
I know we can't delete stuff. Yeah, the whole situation where we couldn't delete stuff. I wish they could delete some stuff, man. No, but actually they don't. The teams in the East have gone from worse. You can't say the first, but they've gone from worse to play-ins and now playoff potential threats. And we got to run right through this one because this series here, Joe said this one was going to go to 7 because of the Orlando Magic and how they play defense. Now, Orlando put in a lottery ticket, some would say, but that number just wasn't enough. Joe, Celtics, Magic, 4-1, Celtics win. Tell us about this series.
Man, it came down to 2 things. Number one, I'm going to give a shout out to the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum was really good this series. I got to give it to him because I said this on the Days Dark House. Jason Tatum in game 1 was horrific. I mean, in game 1, the man took 22 shots, only made 8 for 22 from the field, 36% from the field. He was terrible. He only shot 50% from 2-point range, which is not really good. But he had 17 points. But he was hurt game 2. Jaylen Brown stepped up. But after that, 36, 37, 35. And I said this on the Doghouse. Jason Tatum is going to give you. He's going to play defense. He's going to rebound. He's going to assist. But what I want to see is his scoring up. Now, I expected him to be like this. He is like this every year, early in the playoffs. I just want to see him increase all this stuff like in the NBA Finals when it really, really matters. But here's the issue with Orlando, 3-point shooting. Did y'all know they were the worst 3-point shooter team in the NBA in the playoffs this year? They were last. And the Celtics were 5th. So that's the difference in this whole series. I'm going to read everybody's percentage. I'm going to pass it off. Everybody's percentage in this playoffs, y'all, in 3-point range. Cleveland, number 1, 44%. I mean, we saw them make 2 or 3s in a row against Dave and them in the second quarter. 44%. 39 Indiana, 39 Denver, 37 Milwaukee, 37 Boston, 37 Houston, 37 Clippers, 36 New York, 35 Golden State, 35 Lakers, surprisingly so, 34 Miami, 32 Detroit, 32 Minnesota after shooting 14%, 31 OKC after sweeping somebody, 30% of Memphis, and the only team that's not in 30% is Orlando at 26%. That's a big drop from 15th place. They were terrible from 3, literally. So they got to address that in the offseason. I said this on Dave Doghouse. I think they should try to get Giannis, trade Franz Wagner, and some picks, and get some shooters around Paolo and Giannis. So that's the issue with Orlando, but shout out to the Celtics and Tatum.
Yeah, the 3-point was a huge scoring, period, wasn't an issue for them. That was something they just could not get done. They have no shooting around Franz and Paolo. You have Franz and Paolo basically making most of the threes, and that's not the guys. Not to say that they can't do that, but you don't want your 2 main guys to be the ones that are scoring all the 3-point shots. That's what you had. That's what they traded KCP for. That's what they went and got him for. And now they were missing 2 guys. You did not have Mo Wagner. You did not have Jalen Suggs. But Jalen Suggs isn't known as a 3-point shooter, and neither is Mo. So you were missing that part of your game for your team because those guys that you have just don't bring that to them. Paolo's their franchise player, Blaze. I don't think Paolo's going anywhere. I think that's the guy that they keep for sure. They're going to build around him. He's not going anywhere. But it wasn't, and it's not like the Celtics were shooting crazily to where they could, they were just dominating every single game. They got hot, of course, but the Orlando Magic defense is what really kept them into these games. And then also, it was also bad turnovers at times that caused them to lose some of these games as well. They need a playmaker to help them out because you don't really want Franz or Paolo to be the guys bringing the ball up most of the time. You want them to be able to have their game, but they're more of a half court plays as far as them ball handling and bringing the ball up. You don't want them to have to continue to do it up and down every single game, especially when they have tough assignments on defense, because they're not great decision makers when it comes to playmaking. So you got to give them a playmaker in there. And honestly, bringing Giannis there will help out with that because Giannis is a good playmaker at his size. So that he will take away some of that for Orlando Magic. So that will help them at first. And like Joe said, you got to surround it with some kind of shooting. You need some shooters on this team. You don't have that. So if you put shooters around them and you go get a guy like Giannis, so that's going to help. And Suggs defensively is huge. So you might want to. I think that's a guy that you would definitely want to keep is Jalen Suggs because he helps. He's a tremendous defender. So you want to keep a guy like that. And he's a spark from the bench. So whatever you got to do to bring in better talent, better shooting around this team is what you got to do. But they played a really good series. This wasn't like a easy 5-1, 4-1 gentleman sweep for the Celtics. This was a hard fought series. So you gotta do something to get these to surround some shooters around Paolo. And Franz, if you don't go get a guy like Giannis, if you don't surround them with more talent, you got to find a way to put some shooters around this team because scoring has been the biggest issue. I mean, the last 2 years, that's what it's been for them. It's just shooting. Shooting is something that they need to be able to advance. They have the defense. They have the star power. They just need the shooting.
Yeah, and Dave, you said it, and it sounds like you've been listening to Jason Tatum too, because he said this is one of those early tests that we need on, like, paraphrasing what he said, because this was definitely a test for him. They needed this. They went through the Jaylen Brown injury as far as him being in the court, being on the court playing hurt, and then also Tatum having to find his way. These were a lot of questions that people had last year in the playoffs, and he's like, okay, I'm going to have one of my best games when it's time to close it out, but still, you have to play better. Also, a lot of questions go to not just Orlando. I mean, we already talked about Orlando and the Pistons kind of seem like they have the same as far as like promising future. if they just they add one key piece, and then this whole playoff series that they went through this year, that experience will be there. Both of those teams kind of remind me of the Wizards when they had when it was Bill and Wall, and then when they got Paul Pierce. And once they added Paul Pierce, it kind of gave them that edge over, even though Paul Pierce was past his time. But it was just that one vet that came in and was like, I've been through the ringer before. I've been to the finals, and I'm trying to beat LeBron again. So let me get around some young bucks. So they just need to find a piece like that. And I seen your face, Joe. You was like, Wizards? What you mean Wizards? But yeah, that's what I mean by the Wizards. They was young. They got in the playoffs. They got that experience. And then they started sweeping teams the next year. Shout out to the Raptors. But what the Celtics got going on right now is not just the injuries. It's a lot of stuff going on off the court as well. Because look, you're trying to be back to back. You got the documentaries. Everybody's like, you're finally champions. And then some people are asking questions about if it's pressure on this player, pressure on that player, when it's technically pressure on the franchise. Because now you got to make some big decisions as far as what you got going on with your salary cap. But you deal with that after you win the ring, if you win it. Again, granted, if you win it. And for the Magic, Joe, I would like to see them make that trade, but you're going to have to go get a lot of shooters if you got Giannis and Paolo right there, because that coaching staff, they're going to have to deal with something, because Giannis, you already know what Giannis is. And, Paolo can move a little bit, but now you just got two people that's probably, one person that's going to clog the paint, and then you got to find the pieces around. Y'all was talking about it, and I wanted to say, I think Giannis might be good with the Pistons, but we'll talk about that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'll revisit this topic in the chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with
That's
that being
good.
said, we're gonna roll right into that. Lock them in. Now this segment here. Oh, I was about to say we got the big screen. Okay. Now this segment here, look, Joe leaned back when he put you see Joe lean. He leaned different when he winning. He's like, there you go. But this segment here
See
is
how
gonna
different
be,
he at?
Yeah, I'm surprised the shades. Like, look, you looking for him.
Oh,
All right, first place, Joe. But this lock 'em in segment, we pick games from any sport. We tell y'all we either do the money line or we do the spread, but we also let you know that these are our opinions. So you can take one of the games that we provide to you. These are the games for tomorrow. Remember, if you're watching this, it's Friday. So if you're watching this Saturday morning, that's for the games tonight. But if you're watching this right now, it's for the games tomorrow. These are our opinions. These are our opinions. These are our opinions. You can clearly see by the record that these are our opinions. So
they record. That was fun.
You got one win more than us, my guy. Relax. You just got there.
So with that, since you winning, we got to do it in R2L fashion. So my game, I'm going with the Clippers +1.5.
This man over here.
You should have lost. You should have lost.
I can't believe this.
Well, you gonna say that too?
That's automatically what I was going to. I can't. Yes.
Because I was gonna go boxing, but the fight is like literally in about 30 minutes, so I can't do it. And the other fight I had, some people would say it's cheating. I was gonna pick Canelo.
All right, look, I'm gonna go to baseball again.
You got this. Pick the Tigers. Carl said they've been winning.
Tomo, hush.
All right. Rhythm spoons.
I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick the. I'm gonna pick the Yankees at -1.5 against the Tampa Bay Rays.
I know that hurt.
All right, I'm going with the Caps +1.5 versus Hurricanes.
Oh my goodness, Caps about to get smoked. Every time you pick the Caps, it gets
I'm sorry, that's Monday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Joe, that's a long game away.
I can pick Monday, right? Oh no, I can't.
You can.
You technically can because it's the future. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my. The game is on Monday, fellas. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, Clippers, y'all better win this game because they already mad at me. So y'all gotta win this bet.
I hope they win. Just win by 1 point. Get an air, go to dunk at the end, something like that,
And Unfortunately, I'm hoping that
sick.
I want the Caps to win, but I want them to win by a point and not by 2. That way, Joe gets another loss on that record.
We 12-9, 13 now on the way. By crazy inspiration.
I mean, at least we all in the playoffs in some sports.
That's true. I mean, we barely there. You know, we the Steelers. You know, just saying.
Yo, no, we not, because we not gonna get complacent after we went 9.
You're right.
My bad.
Standard. My last words. Shout out to the whole R2R network. Really appreciate everybody on the network. People have been putting that work. Appreciate y'all and love watching y'all too. Y'all had some very good shows. Shout out to the whole R2R family. We definitely appreciate y'all. This whole network, the R2R family is the engine of the network, for the network. So we need the family for this network to run. And shout out to everybody who put it in the super chat. There we go. Shout out to J-Mo and Blaze for being here to hear what Tomo said. All right. So shout out to Tomo for making that comment. All right. We appreciate y'all a lot. As y'all know, all the money we get, we pour right to the network and to the R2R Day. All right. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the time and day for that too. And Sacramento Kings, I mean, what can I say? Right now, y'all not the Kings. I mean, you're not in the playoffs. You gotta be a king, right, to be in the playoffs. So I don't know what we're gonna do. We got new GM. You know what we did, y'all? We announced that Doug Christie is now the full-time coach. Mm-hmm. We announced it. So Doug Christie is now the full-time coach. He always said I have unfinished business. I like Doug Christie. Let's see what happens there. The roster has to be different though. Has to be different for sure. What's going on? Can I miss something? Shout out to Dave's Barber. First Cup Fridays. And then my Commanders.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go.
What?
Go ahead.
My first day.
My Commanders, I'm expecting a really good season from y'all. I'm expecting JD Daniels are having a jump. I love the draft we had. I'm very excited about the 2025 and 26 season. That's all I had to say. No trolls, nothing. And I hope we meet the 49ers in the playoffs so we can settle this deal.
I hope so too.
You gotta get there first. But how we meet there though? I mean, dang, I was trying to do clean. That was an accident. I wasn't trying to take a shot. I just couldn't help myself.
I knew it. Tom, this coming from someone who just made the playoffs for the first time in a while. You hear this?
I mean, you can't say playoff NFC championship. That's what we got to.
And you lost. Yeah, you got barbecued on
the levels there, Dave. Like we make the play, like the Cowboys make the playoffs. You make the NFC championship. You see the levels.
No. We make the Super Bowl. We lose, but we make.
It's a whole time. Wait, hold on. Super Bowl.
You know,
he pulled the joke. He pulled the joke. I said NFC. No. Super Bowl. Make sure you get that right.
It's level. The playoffs, NFC Championship, Super Bowl. It's level.
Show, man.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all the Miami Heat guys that have podcasts. Shout out to my guy Trent, who had a Miami Heat show. He does one every single day. I think it's like he's at like 120. So he's been doing a really good job at making sure that he does it every single day. So shout out to you, my guy.
Hey Dave, real quick. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off. I didn't put it in the chat. I'm gonna do it now. Speaking of Trent, happy belated birthday to Trent and the R2L family. He had a birthday on the 27th, I believe, in April. So shout out to Trent. Sorry we had to put you out in the first round of playoffs, but shout out to you on your birthday.
It's all good. Also, there's someone else on R2L who has a birthday today. My guy Chris. So happy birthday, Chris.
Oh, okay, Chris. Okay.
Happy birthday, my guy. But
happy birthday, Chris.
Man, like I said, shout out to all the Miami Heat guys that have shows that have been putting out their content. I mean, y'all speaking some facts, and I'm glad that we all agree that saying that we're going to get Giannis is a stretch. So, for you delusional Heat fans, just remember we didn't have much to get Dame. What do you think we have to get Giannis? So just think about that. San Francisco, let's see what's going to happen. I'm hearing great news that Brock Purdy is going to get his contract soon. So that's good. That to me, that's a sign that we're actually going to get these contracts done early and not during like training camp and stuff. So let's make sure we get this settled. Kittle's there. We do have somebody that's injured. Malik Mustafa is going to be out for some of the first half of the season because he had to get surgery. So we gotta figure something out. So let's have a good season. And Red Sox, please take care of this bullpen because this bullpen sucks. You're not gonna get out the doghouse until you take care of this bullpen and actually get some series wins consecutively. Please take care.
My last words is shout out to all of our superstar members.
Yes.
Shout out to Worm, Joe, Dave, myself, Teddy, Cato, Coach Coombs, Javon, Lamar, Giovanni. Happy birthday, Chris, Decorius, Mike, Taniqua, Tone, and Mike again. And this, my real last words, of course, we want to shout out to the superstar members, but I just want to say, Kev, you reminded me of something. Kev, you know, and AJ, y'all know, I killed Jalen Hurts for always having quotes when he's doing his press conferences or any type of interview. The Cowboys rookie lineman, left guard, I've watched 16 clips of this kid talking. Every time they ask him a question, you would have thought he was running for president. He has the perfect answer for everything. So between him and Dak, there better not be ever one bad press conference, regardless of, I mean, of course, when we lose, they may say something crazy. But these two guys just say the perfect thing all the time. So now you got Dak, Jalen Hurts, and now this kid Booker, as far as you're going to get the right answer every single time. Oh, Jaden Daniels, too. I watched some of his press conference. He said you saying the right thing sometimes, too. Don't worry about everybody got 5. Some people need JD5. The Lakers, they not alive.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And we out.
I heard the one where Mike got hype, too. He got super hype.
Bruh. Perfect answer. Like, where did that come from?
And Darius said, I like that. I like that. Good thing he not the Eagles. He would have got killed on Twitter for that.
Tom, I do have something I want to say about that though. I'm pretty sure you saw the clip of when they was trying to say that he was supposed to be like the Jalen Carter stopper.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Did you see what happened? They said that he had 3 sacks in college. You know who that was allowed? Who that actually was? It was Jalen Carter.
That was early in his college career, though, you know.
But remember, Jalen Carter went to the NFL right after that. That's why he didn't allow no sacks because Jalen Carter was.
I want that same person who made that clip to know. Nobody ever called him the Jalen Carter stopper. They just make stuff. You see what I'm saying? The Eagle fans just make stuff up to make people be like, I hate the guy. I'm like, bro, nobody ever said that. They said we need him to block Jalen.
I can verify that no one said that he was that, at least in the R2L. No Cowboy fan said that.
Told you, Philly, bro, they love us, man. They love us up there, man.
NFL season around the corner.
They won the Super Bowl and talking about the Cowboys.
We got to start having these off-season conversations about these teams, y'all. We got to start early.
Yeah. We're gonna make an announcement.
We definitely need to start early. Yeah. We killed it last year. We did our thing in like 2 weeks, 2 months, but we did it. Woo.
And then we're gonna make an announcement on the R2L show. So R2L chat. So make sure y'all NFL chat. So make sure y'all stay tuned. But that's all we got for y'all today. And we'll see y'all on Tuesday. And we'll have a full second round series. We know who's in the second round. See y'all next Tuesday. This Tuesday, next episode. Peace out.
Check us out Sunday. We're going to be making our picks.
That's it. That's it.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.